Hello, welcome to Cracking the Cryptic for Friday's Cryptic Crossword Masterclass. And you get me today, Mark, instead of Simon, who is still traveling. He'll be back soon, I believe, but he's away today and I'm going to try and take on today's Times Crossword. I've just heard it's by John Guiver, and you know we're in for a treat. John Guiver's clues are masterful, they espouse everything I like about crossword clues, which is an ability to mislead, but perfect surfaces that could mean something, and brilliant wordplay. So we are going to look forward to that. Now, I've got do I have to use the word shout outs? Let's use acknowledgements to do today. We got an email in from Ian Hawkins who said, hi Mark and Simon, firstly, thank you for your channel. I discovered it last year when I got back into Wordle and now stupidly play in hard mode all the time. Right, digression. That is not stupid. Playing in hard mode is the only way to play Wordle, because if you want to just build a streak forever, enter 15 different letters in the first 3 words, and why would you ever get it wrong after that? It would be very rare, and I say that hard mode is the only way to play it to make it interesting. There we go. Back to Ian. I then started watching Minute Cryptic and the Friday Times Crossword. I've never understood cryptic crosswords, and I'm now starting to get a better understanding. I will always struggle with the full cryptic as my vocabulary is not large enough, but by some miracle, the quick cryptic is within my grasp, and I've completed last Friday's. It's taken me 4 days of putting it down and picking it up, but today, with routine and Great Dane, it is complete. Thank you for what you do and giving me the impetus to achieve something I would never have thought possible. I will continue to try both Quick Cryptic and Cryptic of a Friday, give myself a week, and then catch up with the video to see how the clever people do it. From Ian Hawkins, mid to late 50s, he says. Now, well done, Ian, first of all. That first feeling of completion is massive, and build on it. It will be surprisingly soon that you do a full cryptic that isn't a quick cryptic. I can almost promise you, especially if you look at the times on Mondays instead of Fridays. Fridays are generally the hardest ones. So very well done for completing your first quick cryptic. And remarkably similarly, Rob sent us a message. Hi both, hope you're well. I've been watching the channel for almost a decade now, since I was at university. So Rob's in a slightly younger age group. I've always been a self-professed geek and loved crosswords, but watching your masterclasses really unlocked a love for cryptics. I've been watching almost every week and trying my hand at quiptics and quick cryptics with varying levels of success, since COVID at least, but today I solved a full proper cryptic crossword without any dictionary or aids for the first time. Couldn't have done it without you both, thank you. So there you go, there. We've moved straight on from Ian to Rob, and they're at very slightly different stages of their crossword journey. And Rob's finished his first full crossword. Well done, well done. That is the way to do it. So do just just watch some of the videos, and you will realize that these are manageable things. Now, I've got a third one, and this is in some ways a very important one. This is from Alex Meadows. If you follow us on the Blueprints stream, which we do on Monday evenings, you will know that we have 2 moderators with us at all times, Riff Clown and Alex Meadows. Alex has been with the channel been following the channel for 7 years. He's been moderating for a full 5 years. He is the nicest guy. Here's my story of how nice Alex is. When we were at Stratford last, a lot of people came to meet us, and that was great. And we love meeting people, and we're very happy to talk to everybody. And just towards the end of the time that we were allowed to be there, basically, one guy just sort of taps one of us on the shoulder and says, yeah, I just let you know I was here. It's Alex, who we owe a lot to because he does a lot for us in chat, but he just wanted to acknowledge that he was there and made off, didn't want to take up our time. And my goodness, there's not many people I'd give more time to. Alex is an absolute star. And he's written to us today for the first time ever on his own behalf. to say that Wednesday was his 50th birthday, and he wondered if we might be able to fit in a birthday shout out in the Friday's Crossword Masterclass. It's an absolute pleasure, Alex. Happy birthday. And if I mention in my later Sudoku video today that it's your birthday today, just note that that's me not carefully reading things at that time. Alex says, you two are responsible for my hobbies of both variant Sudoku and cryptic crosswords. But of the two, I think it's the crosswords that have captured my heart the most. And it would be lovely to celebrate a milestone with you there. Well, I hope you've had a great week, Alex. And yeah, some fabulous presents. So very happy to give you a shout out. Do let us know if you've got things coming up, because we're generally happy to give it a mention. And with less further ado, but do check out, of course. Oh, no, there is further ado. There is much further ado, because on Patreon yesterday, I published the Spider-Man successful solvers list, but also a crossword by NCalder47 from Tennessee, no less, who had based a crossword on the Spider-Man Sudoku hunt. And it's a really good cryptic crossword. I couldn't tell. I felt sure that despite being self-confessedly from Tennessee, that Nick might be a British expat. He's written to us and said he's not. He's just picked up crosswords from us, studied the Times Crossword. He's done it very well, because he's really got into the vein of British style cryptic crossword setting. I think there's normally a noticeable difference between US cryptics and British cryptics, but I didn't notice it in this puzzle. So it was quite interesting. I mean, it was a very good puzzle as well. And that's on Patreon, but that was yesterday. Today on Patreon, my monthly club special. This is a puzzle that the Times do. If you think Friday's crossword is hard, you're right, but it's not as hard as the Times monthly club special, which uses insane vocabulary from the absolute depths of the two dictionaries they use, and some really fizzy wordplay. It's by Mark Kelmanson, and it will be up by the time this video goes up, so do check that out if you're interested in a sort of hour-long solve of a really hard crossword by me. We do that every month. But that is all the ado. Obviously, there's all the merch you could buy. There's all of our other Patreon content, and we've got apps, but they don't go into crosswords. But today, I'm going to take on the Times Cryptic number 29548 by John Guiver, apparently. So good news for us. Let's get cracking. Just want to make sure you can see this. No, you can't, because I've hit the wrong button. And that was the previous crossword. So I haven't refreshed. That's my problem there. I haven't refreshed the home page. So my sincere apologies. I will black out the solution to yesterday's puzzle, which just came on the screen there. And instead, we will call up today's puzzle. And it's number 29549, of course. And let's get cracking. Okay. One across. Occupied housing fine is steep. So, ostensibly, a clue suggesting that a fine relating to occupied housing is very expensive. But steep has other meanings, as well as being very large of an expense or a fine. It can mean straight up like a cliff, or it can mean to put something in boiling water. Occupied housing fine is steep. I don't know what we're looking at there. I don't know how the wordplay works. Fine can be the letter F. Housing, right. Housing can mean putting something, accommodating something. So we're probably looking for a 5-letter word housing the letter F. Or, of course, fine could translate to okay. So we could be looking for a 4-letter word. Busy might mean occupied, for instance, and try and put okay in it. But I can't put okay into busy. I haven't thought of a 5-letter word meaning occupied at it. No. So I can't solve that. Let's try 4 across. We would get a lot of first letters if we got that, and they are very helpful. Car trailer, perhaps, thrown into roll. Thrown might be an anagram indicator, and into roll is a collection of 8 letters, which would fit the length. But they're not incredibly useful letters for creating an anagram. Car trailer, perhaps, thrown into roll. Something that trails behind a car, a caravan. Goodness me, I don't know what's going on there. I don't quite know what the wordplay is doing. I don't quite know what the solution is doing. I've now had a thought about 1 across though. There's a 5-letter phrase for occupied that I could put F in, and to steep your tea means you infuse it, doesn't it? So in use would mean occupied, and we put the F in it. So there we go. Clearly that was infusing in my brain as I was looking at 4 across. Shall I nip back to 4 across and see if I've worked that out while I was talking about 1 across? Because I haven't. Car trailer, perhaps, thrown into roll. I'm finding it hard to see that as anything other than an anagram of into roll, even though I don't think there is such an anagram. So that's me just getting stuck down a blind alley. Right, 1 across. At least we've got an I in the grid. Touch of indigestion right after eating a ham. I mean, it's a lovely surface, but touch of indigestion could be I. That will leave a ham or ham as the definition. Now that might be a ham as in a joint of meat from a pig, or it might mean a thigh, which can be a ham, or a bad actor. Or it might mean a verb sense of one of those. In fact, going ham these days even means something else, doesn't it? So, I don't know, touch of indigestion could be I, right could be R. But I don't think it is, because that just doesn't give us enough letters for 8. Eating A could mean that we put the letter A into this. I don't know. I'm going to go, I mean, John Guiver is very good at just writing clues that I can't attack. And that's quite a skill, some will tell you. 2 down. 50% growth of stocks, boosted yield. 50% is half. I could reverse that and put an S in and get flash, but I don't know why. 50% growth of stocks. Stocks, obviously stocks and shares, they accumulate. What does growth in them get defined as? Appreciation, maybe. But I don't think that's relevant. Stocks could mean all sorts of things as well. Plants, animals, for a farm, punishment device. So the answer is probably defined by yield here. But I don't know what it is. So these early letters I got haven't really done much. Check written without a pen, 3 down. Check written without a pen. Is a sow the same as a pen? No, a sow is a female pig and lives in a pen, but a pen is a female swan. 3 letters beginning with S. Check. Written without A. Also, John Guiver is, I think, an American expat, and that is an American spelling of check if we are talking about the bank check. Just point it out. Probably has nothing to do with the clue. I expect we're looking at a very different meaning of check that we have to use. Oh, sty is a pen that a pig lives in. Check could be stay. If you check something, you hold it up. And if you stay something, you stay a judgment, you hold it up. So To stay and to check, I think, are the same thing. So I think that is stay. Right. It took a while. 10 across. Morning person sorted library edition digests. It's a lovely clue again. But I think sorted is an anagram indicator of we're going to anagram library, and it's going to be digested or eaten by ed, which is an abbreviation for edition. And that is going to give us early bird, the morning person. A morning person is someone who's happy getting up in the morning, and famously the early bird catches the worm. Okay, I am going to go back, because the clues are so hard and checking letters so precious in this puzzle. I'm going to go back to one down. Right, in a radio ham is an amateur who uses a radio. That is a quite old slang, but it kind of means that a ham is an amateur or someone who is not a professional. Inexpert is what I'm now thinking. Right after is next. That's eating per in the sense of £5 a person, £5 per person. Per and a are synonymous. One has seen that in crosswords before, and the answer is therefore inexpert. And let's have a look at 2 down. 50% growth of stocks boosted yield. I mean, yield can mean a lot of things, or it can have a lot of synonyms. 50% growth of stocks. 50 can be L, percent could be PC, but those are quite rare and you can't really fit them in. I don't know what's going on there still. We're going to have to get the last letter and then hope I can solve it. 12 across. Prominent speech in support of London Transport. Oh, that's beautiful. Right. What is London Transport? It is, well, it's a whole network actually of buses and transport in London, but it's most famous for the Underground Railway, or Tube. In support of is pro. And I was thinking, well, is this just saying pro-tube? But a speech that was pro-tube would be a pro-tube rant. And that spells protuberant, which means sticking out, or prominent in its very literal meaning. That's a beautiful clue, because it gives us this phrase of pro-tube rant. And I have occasionally heard mayors and the like ranting about how good the tube is. So it's a real thing. Right, Fargo would fit here. That's probably not it. Forgo. To forgo something. Does that mean to yield because you go without it? 50% growth of stocks. Boosted. Right. Boosted means turned round or sent upwards in this case. And of is stocking 50% of the word growth, which is GRO. So you put GRO into of, you get ogrov, you boost it, i.e. turn it round, and you get forgo. I mean, that is some of the most misleading wording you can ever see in a clue. And yet, 50% growth literally meant 50% of the word growth. But of stocks meant the word of stocks this. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Boosted yield. Right, 5 down. One's experienced what affectionate couples may do when naked, I say. An old hand is experienced, and that would fit. Affectionate couples hold hands, don't they? I've been known to do it with my wife in the more affectionate moments. But anyway, what affectionate couples may do is hold hands. Naked here means we take off the outside letters and just leave the middle bit. And that gives us old hand, which is a very nice construction and a very nice image. Unlike the original clue image, which was involved naked couples. Right, 9 down. Sardonic hosts in European chateau? Right, we're learning how John is using these words that look like nouns, like stocks and housing, to be instructions. So hosts is going to mean, I think, contains. We need a short word for sardonic. We're always looking for short synonyms in crosswords. And it's going to host in and E for European. And if sardonic is rye, then we get winery. And chateau can mean not just a mansion-like French house or castle, but a wine-producing estate. And there we go. Right, 15 across. Pages on American bank sites internally still hold good. I mean, again, it's just beautiful phrasing. That is the sort of phrase you would read in a news article about bank URLs. Pages on American bank sites. Well, pages can be PP or leaves or not sure what else. American can be A or US. Bank sites, I don't know what that is. A levee could be an American bank, as in a riverbank. But I mean, none of this is relating to the R and the Y we've got here. Hold good, is that something that ends in IFY, rectify, kind of ratify type word? I don't know, I haven't managed to get P's and A's into this at all, or US. I'm going to give up on that clue because I don't know what's going on. We looked at 4 across. Oh, there's an O in it now for that non-anagram. Ah, thrown into. Right, maybe that's an anagram of into. Roll could be the definition for the whole word. Rotation, that's a roll. And then we need car trailer perhaps to give rotor. Why would that be? Does a rotor follow a car? And then an anagram, I like this anagram of into at the end because it will be TION then. Maybe rotation isn't right for roll, but there aren't that many words that would end in shun that would mean roll. Okay, can 8 down begin with an N? Did scamper exhaust male stray? Did scamper looks to me like the definition, like scuttled or ran. Exhaust sometimes means a bit like make something naked to take out the outside bits. No, to take out the inside bits to exhaust something would be, so you'd be left with ME. Stray can be ERR. But I don't know, tire to exhaust or sap? No, I don't know what's happening there. I'm going to have a quick look at 7 down, which might begin with an I in my theory of rotation. Person hammering floor and fitting in worsted carpet. Worsted is a material, but I think it's probably been being used for something else here, like an anagram indicator. So are we going to make an anagram of carpet? Person hammering. Thor? He's not a person really, he's a god. To floor can mean to KO, to knock out, to awe somebody. No, I do not know what's happening here. Did we look at 6 down? No, we didn't actually. 6 down. Causing hurt. Cut cross off unopened grave. Well as the tomb, a grave can be, no, grave as a adjective can mean solemn or austere. I think causing hurt is the definition. Militating, no. Cut cross off unopened grave. Wow, okay, I don't know what's going on there. It's a long word. It doesn't almost seem to be enough wordplay. enough bits be included in the wordplay. Right, this is the last checking letter I've got from this decent start in the Northwest. Call the shots I'd returned on court. I'd returned suggests DI, especially with that D in the grid. Yes, okay, if you call the shots, the literal shots of cameras, when making TV or a movie, you direct. DI is I'd returned. Re can mean on, as in respecting. CT is a fairly common abbreviation of court, and that is direct. Now, that's not really going to help with 6 down. It could begin counter now. Cut, cross, off, unopened grave. Now, I think this is a kind of long Latin-based word. Causing hurt is, I mean, it's deleterious. That is a word, and it would fit. Cut is delete. Cross. Oh, serious would be grave. Oh no, okay, so we would cut is not delete. Cross off is delete, but it gets cut by 1 letter and we get delete. Serious is grave, and that's unopened, so it doesn't have the first S, and we get deleterious. So that's quite a good spot. That's just from me trying to think of an 11-letter word that would use T and R there, meaning causing hurt. It's not a common word, I acknowledge that. 11 across. Flower in bog, picked up with stick. Lotus would fit. Has that got any? It's a flower. Oh, lilac. Is that? No, lilac's more a tree, I think, actually. Lupin. That's a flower. 5 letters with an L. Loo. Okay, bog is British slang for a toilet, as is loo. And to stick something on the wall is to pin it, I reckon. So I think that is homophone of loo plus pin, lupin for a flower. 4 across. Oh, this D. That has absolutely ruined my plans, hasn't it? Car. Oh, Ford is a car. So a Ford ad might be a car trailer. And I'm now thinking of the trailer as a promotion or an advertisement or an ad. I don't know what's happening there, but I'm beginning to see that I need to break this clue up. Ad thrown into roll, and then we get a car, which is a roadster. So a roll is a roster, because that is a roll of names. My goodness. A roadster is a very old word for a car. Is it a sort of sports car, I think? Right, that's a good solve. 7 down. Person hammering floor and fitting in worsted carpet. Well, we've definitely got an anagram of carpet going on here. C, P, and T have all appeared in this. Oh, a tap dancer would be someone hammering the floor with their feet. And is being contained by an anagram. Well, Dan is being contained by an anagram of carpet. I mean, it definitely is tap dancer. I'm trying to understand how the clue grammar works. I think the worsted carpet is tap sir, the anagram of carpet. I'm not quite sure where it says that we have to anagram and. Maybe floor is person hammering might be the definition, and we have to floor the word and. Or is fitting somehow Dan? I don't know. I mean, it's definitely the right answer. All the components are there. I haven't quite understood the exact wording. I think worsted is definitely an anagram indicator for the carpet bit. Person hammering floor. I want that to be the definition. And fitting in. Oh, fitting. It's having a fit. It's absolutely going crazy. And, I see. So fitting is the anagram indicator for and worsted is the anagram indicator for carpet. There you go. That's the sort of precision that matters to Simon when he's doing doing the minute cryptic. Anyway, 14 across. Past article, retracted, embarrassing blunder. Well, one meaning of past is in the past, and that could be ago. 17 days past, 17 days ago. Article can be a, because that is the indefinite article, and an embarrassing blunder can be an own goal, abbreviated to OG, which is being retracted there. So, did Scamper ran, exhausted, exhaust. If you do someone or do them in, you exhaust them. I'm absolutely done means I'm exhausted. Male can be the letter M, that's a sort of standard abbreviation, and therefore stray question mark is the definition of random. Somebody, well, it could be a noun or it could be an adjective. If something, I mean, if we got a random golf ball appearing, it would be stray, for instance. I don't know, that's a very odd example to choose, but there we are. Right, we've done the top half. Let's move to the bottom half. 2 letters available in 21 across, although I've been really struggling to get a grip on these checking letters. Short play performed in front of Highlanders. Is in front of a literal, we put some sort of play? No. We're looking for something that is in front of Highlanders, and what they are famous for is kilts, tam o' shanters, ski and doos, claymores, but also sporrans, and sporran would fit here. So I'm not sure why this is sporran, but I think it is. Yes, it's sport, that's play, but it's been shortened. And then ran is performed. If you run a program, you perform it. Right, 18 down. Communication system, internet would fit. Runs on board in principle, that is the answer. So the principle here is tenet, a principle of a faith. Runs is getting on board. No. Runs is getting on board or getting into in tenet. And that gives us internet. 21 down with an S at the beginning. Child worker could be given voice. Well, soprano doesn't quite fit. Child worker. Child could be son. A worker, sonant, is if something, it's a linguistics term, isn't it? Something sonant is given, is voiced, like the difference between the sounds t and d is that d is said to be voiced because there's a little bit of sound coming through the plosive there. So sonant is another word for voiced, I believe. So given voice is a very exact technical definition. And ant has to be a worker because ants are famous for their work ethic. Right, 24 across, phrase 2, 4, 5. Set ankle in it to begin with moves. Set ankle in it with another constructor. That would be just anagram fodder. But actually that's only 12 letters, so we need, well, it is 12 letters, we only need 11. So ankle, it's very hard to imagine ankle being used in this clue for anything other than the letters in it. So do we set the letters of ankle in something, in it to begin with? Moves. Online, it's 2-4 and then 5. Inline skate, yes. Inline skates is they're rollerblades, aren't they? They're called inline skates. Well, I've heard it called inline skating, so I assume that one of them is called an inline skate. And we do seem to have all the right letters here, so let me just figure out how that works. Set, I mean, I'm sure it's the right answer. I'm not sure why it's the right answer with that word play. Ankle in it. Oh, is it an anagram of all of those? Have I miscounted? Oh, no, it's it to begin with. We only need one T for inline skate. So it's set, ankle, in, and the letter I, which is it to begin with. And that is moving. That is all moving around. This is an and lit. Actually, it's a very brilliant and lit. And I hadn't appreciated it fully. There's no separate definition. The whole clue acts as a definition. If you set your ankle in it, you could begin with moves, because that's what an inline skate's for. But it's also all an explanation of an anagram of the letters of set, ankle, in, I, moving. And that is really, really neatly done, as we come to know and love from John Guiver. It's very hard to believe that John Guiver has only been a regular addition to the Times Crossword panel for a couple of years, I think. I might be way out on that, but I think of him as one of the more recent additions, and he's so brilliant. 25 down, blue film topped half-hour charges. Right, I think that azure is a shade of blue. I think a haze is a film, and if that gets topped, you get A's, and half of the word hour is charging haze, so it's yet another of these container indicators. We've now had stocks, hosts, housing, and charges, at least, all as disguised container indicators in this puzzle. And UR is charging A's from haze, and we get blue. And I mean, the surface of that, blue film, naughty film, topping half-hour charges, beautiful. Right, 30 across. Duke breaking head off for sale sign. Duke is the letter D, normally. For sale sign, you see a lot of to let signs, and I always notice that they look like toilet with the I having fallen off. But that's not quite the same as for sale. To rent. Duke breaking head off. Oh, to divert is to head off, which would fit here. Avert. Yes. Avert is head off. That's better than divert, actually. To avert is more specifically to head somebody off. And Duke is breaking into that. It's yet another container indicator. And we're getting advert from avert with D in. And a for sale sign would be one form of an advert. Wow. 28 down. Goal from corner after striking edge of ball. Well, there are a number of short words for goal, and they include aim, but they also include end. So that would fit here. Goal from corner after striking edge of ball. A bend, to bend, or a bend is a corner, and the edge of ball is the letter B. If you strike that, i.e. get rid of it, you're left with end, and that's the answer there. 27 across, hand over new charger, maybe binning last display model. Right, I can think of a word that fits here, which is mannequin. Nearly pronounced the Q, that's weird. And that's a model, or even a display model, so that's good. Hand over. I don't quite get that bit. A hand can be a fin. Hand over. Right, new can be N. A charger maybe, and could be an equine, because a charger is a type of horse, as used in medieval battles. So that's binning its last letter, E, and we get N, nequin. Oh, so, no, we get N, equine. So hand over must somehow give man. Is nam to hand or a hand? No, it's not. Are there any other words based on mannequin that begin, that would fit in here? I don't think so. I don't quite understand why man is given by hand over here, which it feels like it is. Oh, a hand, yes. Right, that's okay. A hand on a ship is one of the working men. So a hand is a man, and that could be a farm hand as well. That's a farm man. And that's over probably in the sense of that man is the second N it's using. It's covering or over the N, the first N, which is the new N. Okay. Bit difficult to parse that. Right, 20 down. My old album cover's all propped up on old Queen vinyl. Isn't that beautiful phrasing? I mean, you can imagine John's album covers all propped up on an old Queen record. Brilliant. Anyway, what are we looking at instead of that vision? My old album covers all propped up on... Okay, so covers looks yet again like a container indicator to me. All propped up would be the letters LLA. That's not it. That's not it. The old Queen is ER, Elizabeth Regina, who died a few years ago. So if we put that at the bottom of this, we could get polymer, and that is probably vinyl. I'm not an expert on chemistry, but I think vinyl is a polymer. So vinyl ? Is saying vinyl is an example of this. And the answer will be polymer. Now, why is polym, my old album covers all propped up? My is there. Oh, right. So think of this phrase, my, or these letters, my, my, and then old, that album covers, and the album is LP. So the LP is covering O. So you've got MYLOP, and it's all been propped up. It's all been turned around to get POLYM. Then you have the old Queen, and there is the vinyl, polymer. Right, 19 across. Over in parking spot with cast after theatre's out. Something up, clearly, from a 4-2 that ends in P. No, I say that, and that's wrong. This is post-op. It's an anagram of P spot with O for over in it. That's cricket abbreviation. P spot has been cast, i.e. it's being anagrammed. And why does post-op get defined by after theatre's out? Because once the operating theatre is finished, you're in post-op. That's fantastic. I mean, that clue really doesn't look like it's talking about a hospital. Over in parking spot with cast after theatre's out. So beautiful. Right, 13 down. Oh, I haven't looked at this before. Trained in riot act up against state. Well, in riot act up is 11 letters and includes the ones we've got here. Trained could be an anagram indicator. So that's what we've got. And we need an anagram that means against state, an anagram of in riot act up. I'm going to put in unpatriotic. It took me a moment to think of it, but I got there. Now the P has appeared in 15 across, where pages were going to be PP. Reapply would fit. Still hold good. I don't know. I think of reapply as to apply for a job offer again. But I suppose if a point reapplies, it holds good all over again, or still holds good. Okay, I'm prepared to accept that. So pages on American is PP on A, and bank is rely, and that is citing it internally. There's yet another sort of nounal appearance of a word that must fit there. That's so bizarre. And it's fine. And I just couldn't see it. Right, 16 across. Loving, bustle, I found in shop. Ado is loving. I was thinking amorous and amorously when I saw loving and this A blanco start, but actually adoration is loving. Yes, ado is bustle, and I is then found in rat on. And if you shop someone, if you tell on someone, you shop them to the rozzers, then you're ratting on them in another slang term. You're blabbing, you're telling, you're singing, you're informing. And that is adoration. Right, time police radar traps. This is a hidden. Simon will tell you there's always a hidden, and he's often right, and there is one today. And this hidden is hidden in the phrase police radar, where 3 of the letters give you ERA. So they're trapping the word era, which is a particular length of time, or very non-specific length of time, actually. Right, I've just noticed Q and Z. We've presumably got a palindrome going here. There's X. Have we had a J? I feel like we had a J somewhere. Or are we expecting a J at this point? How about the next 4 unusual letters? BWVK. BWKV. I think we're looking at a palindrome here. But we haven't, as far as I can immediately tell, had a J yet. I've said palindrome about 3 times there when I meant pangram, which is a puzzle with all the letters used in it. Sorry. Right turn goes round bypass. Joist would fit here. Right turn goes round bypass. Skirt is to bypass. And a skit, a funny turn, a sketch is a skit. So that's what we've got. We've got skirt there. 22. Now, I haven't looked at the clue. I'm just looking at the entry. Jetsam would fit here. And that would get us our J. Raven's morning rummage on the beach. Right, rummage can mean not only looking for something, it can mean rubbish left behind, i.e. jetsam. So, raven is a shade of black. Very, very dark black, and so is jet from the semi-precious stone. So jets AM for morning, and the rummage you find on the beach is jetsam. And that was entirely predicted from the pangram, not palindrome. Right, let's have a look at, just wondering if the letters of pangram are hanging around here somewhere. Deliberate, maybe not. Now, 29 across, 1 left. Clip and groom 1 dog that's in shock. Well, I keep reading in US crosswords about pet spas and dog mani-pedis and things. And I think the dog here is a bit irrelevant. Well, it's not irrelevant. We're getting 1 for I, cur for dog, and that's being put in a shock of hair or a mane of hair. And that's giving us manicure, which is to clip and groom. And there we go. That is John Guiver's rather brilliant puzzle finished. I found that very difficult to get started with. I imagine people of the really good solvers like Verlaine and CMJ Hutton and A-Fish will have done this in about 7 or 8 minutes, but I may be underestimating. Oh, I am. Look at that. Jason 1143. Verlaine 1312. And Tom Stubbs a very good 1713, but this is not an easy crossword at all. And that was as I found it certainly towards the beginning. Actually, I did find it very hard to find the parsing of quite a lot of things, like even mannequin there. It's a very clever puzzle, though, and I should submit it to check that I have got it right. Otherwise, that would be embarrassing. There we go. So, looks like it is right. Good news, and a super puzzle. I mean, really impressive. Now, we do traditionally go on to the quick cryptic after that, and do that more quickly. So let's have a go. Times quick cryptic, and it's by Hurley. Dad's good-humoured joking, something useful on his travels. Passport, pars sport. Definitely. Put forward non-proetic writing, that's prose. Romeo no longer features. Romeo is R in the alphabet, so it's pose. One demonstrating, saying little, a popular bathroom feature. Oh, I don't know. Let's come back to that. 3 down. Men unpaid, mob, almost involved in uproar. That's an anagram of most of men unpaid, mob, and it's pandemonium. 4 down. Break in secluded place. Is that resort? No, probably not. Let's try 8 across. Disdain, that's scorn. Introduction of some is the letter S. Banal material is corn. 9 across. Maybe ivy. More weird. Maybe ivy's more weird after one's left. Climber. Ivy's a climber. Stranger. I don't know. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump across 11. Dancing events, seen about 5, with little between contestants. Don't know. 13. Out of fashion, a French firm, old, ultimately eliminated. Uncool. Old has had its last letter eliminated there. Is a French and co is the firm. Study C's, unusual, weekly occurrences. Anagram of study C gets us Tuesdays. 20 across, unhappy is sad. About N for northern, we get sand as a beach feature. Worried, a learner ready to fight. Looks like alarmed, A-L, armed. Let's try 16 across. Feature of courts, employment policy. That's a tennis court, and service line. Service for employment, line for policy. Now this is a curtain, 2 down, a shower curtain. Bar, so it's shower, 1 demonstrating, curt, saying little, a and in. Okay, 15 down. Something may be written back on back of envelope in Land's End erroneously. Oh, I don't know. There's quite a few bits there. Land's End could be D. I don't know. Let's try 11 across again. Dancing events scene. This is an anagram of events seen around V. Even Stevens, with little between contestants. Right, the break is a recess now in a secluded place. 6 down, new excited punter needed calming at first. Anagram of punter needed C. Unprecedented or unprecedented. No self-reliant type. Operating as pirate, that looks like an anagram again. Parasite. That's good. Okay, 5 across, quip or jump. Drink quiet for those left. The rump of people are left. Rum is a drink. P means quiet. It's not climber, my goodness, but what is it? It's maybe creeper. Creepier with 1 having gone. 14 across. Initially attempt to buy energy supplies tested at best under most favourable conditions. Why? Initially attempt is A. Oh, ATB initially. Oh no, it's all the letters of attempt to buy energy supplies tested, all their initials. Nice, clear, it's changing. Light's better, thank to him. Electrician and an anagram. Oh, don't know what that, something maybe written on the back of an envelope is. Train trouble. Just a bit, so it's hidden in train trouble. It's intro for a start. Beastly sound is a moo. Daughter is D. Temper is mood. Unwind regularly, that's NID. Welcomed by a triad into Trinidad. And what do you write erroneously on the back of an envelope? Header. Something may be written on back of envelope. Sender. Oh, it's just hidden in Land's End erroneously. Ah, very good. Okay. So there we go. That is a quick cryptic by Hurley done. And hope you've enjoyed our crossword content for the week. As I say, there's more on Patreon, 2 puzzles in the last 2 days, and I urge you to check them out. Thank you for watching us on the channel. Simon, I imagine, will be back next week in this slot, and I will bid you good day. See you soon. Bye for now.